Hello, Galarius Smite League fans. It is Connor Top Shagger here on the cast, joined by Mirandus on chair 2. If you want to say hello. All right, we've got VTubers Paradise versus Hakai here. A very highly anticipated matchup, I do have to say. I'm quite excited to get into it myself, and we're jumping straight into the picks and bans here. So we've got the Darji and the Cabrakan and the Hades ban so far. I think that's pretty standard, all things considered. I would maybe like to see Emoji ban come out. I think that picks should be highly valued here, but they do ban the Kepri. That's understandable.
Yeah,
How are
definitely
you?
very. I was gonna say definitely very meta picks right now. All the ones that have been banned so far. I think
Every,
Hades maybe could have come a bit later in the ban because I don't think Fredis plays it that much, and it might have been something VTubers might have looked to ban.
oh, it's interesting we see the Thor ban here. I think that Thor may be getting overvalued at the moment, personally, but I think the recent buffs have really done him quite well.
I think I would have prioritized this Ravana, which has just been locked in because it's something Basilius has played nearly every game right now and showed considerable level of skill on it.
Yeah, I have to agree. A considerable level of skill is questionable, but he does have a Ravana he can play.
Yeah, I mean, if he's playing it every game, I think you just got to take it off him in one game and put him in an uncomfortable position.
And there it is. I said I wanted to see Emoja, and it looks like we're going to be able to see it here. And the Kamazots as well, so a lot of sustain already early for the Hakai comp.
Yeah, we saw in the Kins Kuman game the other day that whoever had Kamazots was just winning the games. So be interested to see how Lina performs on it. I think last time she had it, she got 0 kills. So
It could go
hopeful
towards Big Joe in the jungle, we have to take into account as well.
could do. I think the pressure it gets in solo, though, it sort of just has to go there with the jungle unless there's something they want in solo specifically. Then I think that's where it's going. I think Big Joe is probably gonna be looking for the danger pick on Rat.
Perhaps. I personally think that Kamazots is much scarier in the jungle to play against, but it's each their own. He's also very obviously a high pressure god. Into the Cthulhu, I mean, if you Cthulhu into the Kamazots, I think you're fine. I think you can just kind of hover around and be Cthulhu and do Cthulhu things come late game. I feel like if it's played properly by Threaders, the Kamazots shouldn't really pose too much of an issue in the laning phase.
Yeah,
Um,
Cthulhu obviously one of the high pressure guardians. I think probably not looked as much recently due to everyone literally building kins in duo. So we'll see how it goes this game.
I mean, if Luxio Gaming does have a Morrigan in his locker, I'm not 100% sure. It would probably be good for Hakai to ban that out here because we see it picked up quite a lot at the high level. The Cthulhu Morrigan comp is just a very strong team comp come late game. Oh, and
Yeah,
it's Chibalanke. Okay.
yeah, for sure. The Morrigan would be very big here because you obviously got the Camazot's ult if you're in trouble, and then Cthulhu ult to go into your team.
Okay, so I'm assuming Hakai are going to ban out some mid laners here, and VTubers are gonna opt to ban the Nemesis, so they're convinced that the Kamazotsu is going into the solo lane, and maybe you were correct there. Who else would you want to see banned here really quickly, if we can get
Um,
into
I think VTubers should be looking to ban out mid lane as well. Maybe Vulcan, which has been really highly prioritized recently due to his buffs, and his turret can go so hard in late game when it's just shooting at like the tanks in the back line. Like it just does so much damage, and I think he has a lot of self heal with that meatball. So I'd like to see that one banned.
I have to agree that I do think it's interesting that the ROM's picked into the emoji. There you are, just as you said, and I think it's a good safety ban there from Hakai to get rid of the Morrigan.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And they do look for the Bastet here. I think that the Rom's going to have to be very careful with his ult usage here, because if he's caught with it down, that Yemoja could do some serious damage.
Yeah, definitely. Moja has a lot of team fight impact when she has that ultimate up. She can just split the team fight up, or just like get someone really isolated for a kill for the team. I'm not sure how I feel about the Bastet pick. I haven't seen that one in a while. But if he can hit the ult consistently, then it can go quite hard here.
It is
Is
time for
Maui
some
allowed to be picked?
fireworks.
No, that's probably just a troll hover.
So we do see Dwayne The Rock Johnson being hovered here. That's pretty interesting. The Baba Yaga, I don't mind it he's gonna also have to be very careful around that Umoja ult.
Yeah, the Baba Yaga. It's very easy to interrupt the dash. Is my only concern. So if
Yeah,
he gets like stunned out of it, or can he, I don't know if he can be rooted out of it, but if he can,
yeah.
then that's just gonna be hard to play there. But with the ult, then the Kamazot's dive will really be impacted because just how much damage she can take in that ult and deal out.
Stall.
No more nice
Could see
girls.
this Soul go over into the ADC role with the X-Bomb there. That's something we haven't. Like, it's not, I guess, too foreign of a concept to be brought out here. I think.
Yeah, I
I
don't. I
I
like the
like.
soul.
Yeah, I think it's quite good. Obviously, he's going to have quite a long time with that to separate to get away from the Cthulhu, and a lot of the time in the Cthulhu is going to be wasted if he chooses to chase the Soul here. I also think what's interesting to note is the Soul. I've liked it with Yemoja in the past because if the Yemoja rule is not 100%, Soul does have some very good zoning abilities to try and keep people inside of it.
Yeah, definitely. I think having two ADCs is going to really enable their objective shred once it comes to mid late game. So when I think Hakai should be looking at like early gold furies, to be honest, around the 7 minute mark when this Soul and Xbalanque can get there and get in and out really quickly.
Very true, very true. The double ADC is, I think it's good here. I'm wondering, just because the Soul probably isn't going to look to go into the Soul Reaver here, the Cthulhu might have a bit of an easy time here, depending on what Hakai choose to itemize into. I feel like they're going to need quite a lot of tread because that Ganesha Cthulhu is going to be very hard to try and blow up.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be I think if the Ravana can get this Xbalanque out of the game in the team fights, then this Cthulhu is going to have a very easy time in the back line, just because I don't think the Soul will do enough damage to shred him down.
Hmm. I do have to say, Raven looks like he has a pretty fun game on his hands here. I think that Raven has the potential to get a lot of value here. It all depends on who he chooses to target in the fights.
Yeah, definitely. I think Hakai are looking for that long, drawn out fire giant dance, while VTubers looking to get in, get out quick. Because obviously they got the Cthulhu dive with the Rama snipes just to clean up, and then Ravana is obviously looking to go in one shot someone.
I
So
I think that a lot of how this game's going to go is going to be how well Cheeto performs on this Umoja, because this Umoja has the capabilities realistically to shut down a lot of what VTubers Paradise have planned with a good ult, some good riptides. But also, if that ult isn't on point, if her abilities are a little bit off the mark, then I feel like it's going to be a very, very bad day at the office for the Hakai team.
yeah, definitely these emoji walls are going to be sort of like wins Hakai or loses Hakai this game. I think.
It is a lot of pressure, but a player of Cheeto's caliber, I mean, he's obviously got it in his locker. He's capable of doing it. We just need to see how he performs.
Yeah, I mean, the recent games he's been playing on Umoja have been really outstanding. I think. I definitely didn't expect to see it from Chiso. He's been doing really well on Umoja, so uh, excited to see what he's going to pull out today.
In my opinion, already just pointing this out, a very questionable pickup of Aegis on Baba Yaga. Personally,
Uh,
I don't love that into a basket.
I'm not quite sure where the Aegis has come from. I mean, what are you Aegising? 'Cause Bastet's 2 is a burn, so you're not Aegising that. I guess, I mean, Soul Ultimate, maybe.
Hey, it looks like I was at least right about the X-Ball going into the mid lane here. I do
Yeah,
prefer that. I think Sol's strongest role is ADC. I feel like nowadays she doesn't get too much value in the mid lane. I feel like she's a lot better in the duo lane where she can have that mannequins and she can get that pressure and she can really dominate the lane.
yeah, I agree. I think I've been seeing a lot more ADCs in the mid, and then having that magical ADC in the long lane. I
Luxio
think so.
Gaming, sorry if I could just interrupt you
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
Luxio Gaming does opt for the conduit gem here as well, which is okay. I just don't think conduit gem's in a great place at the moment. I would have preferred to see that Sands of Time come out.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely on the same thought as you. I'm not quite sure where this conduit's come from either. I think just late game having that cooldown on the I don't know what the upgrade's called, but I think just having that cooldown on the other star item upgrade is just a lot more impactful, especially on the Baba, where you just want to be rotating through those potions.
Yeah, for real, for real. So it looks like the first totem's going to go over the way of VTubers here. They are prioritizing it in the way that they've started, which it's good. I'm wondering whether they're going to be able to keep this up. Obviously, Camazot is a very, very high pressure god, and I feel like he should get quite a lot of the totems as the game starts to progress.
Yeah, once he gets that transcendence stacking, I think the lane will take a turn for the better for him. I think early game, this Cthulhu might hold an edge just because he has that tainted steel, which will really hurt his life steal. But once Kama gets those vampiric stacks going, then he'll just be fine.
I agree. I do like I love the tainted pickup here. Cthulhu is an incredible god to get tainted steel on. Obviously, he applies it so easily, especially with his ult. He could be applying it on up to 5 people. 50% anti-heal, isn't it? It's nothing to turn your nose up at.
Yeah, definitely with this team, you got Soul, who's probably gonna go at least one lifesteal item with that initial pickup. I think maybe going into 2, I just think Soul used the lifesteal so really well. And the emoji heals as well, and then you got Kara. Like this Tainted's gonna go very big this game.
Yeah, I agree. I maybe would like to see if he chooses to pick up the Divine Ruin as well here. I think if he goes some defense, he could. I think Cthulhu does use damage quite well. Not full damage, obviously, but I do think a little bit of power on Cthulhu goes a long way. I would like to see a Divine Ruin maybe picked up, and then we're talking 90% anti-heal from one man. It could allow the rest of his team, especially the Bugger, who's probably going to be going into the double stacks. It's going to allow her to get the items that she wants rather than being forced into the Divine.
Yeah, definitely. I think power on Cthulhu is sort of required because otherwise, once you're in that ult, if you're not doing any damage to the backline, then there's not much point in you being there. I mean, you're a big tank and you can get create a lot of space, but there's nothing to be worried about if you're hitting like a paper towel.
Yes, Drew, I agree that he does have some. Oh, look at your game. He could be caught out of position here. It looks like he's going to just about be okay here. Probably stay around for the wave. If he does choose to stay around, Big Joe's not having this at all. He wants that Baba Yaga dead. Dorsey also getting poked out here. That pressure coming through from the mannequin's soul and obviously the emoji, just inherent pressure in the lane.
Yeah, I think this Baba Yaga is going to be one of Big Joe's favoured lanes to gank here. I think once Cthulhu hits level 5, it's going to be extremely hard gank for this Bastet. But we can see the soul getting pressure in duo as well. But I think this Baba Yaga is just going to be the easiest gank for Joe. So I like seeing him getting there early.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, especially with the as we've already pointed out, the questionable choice in Relic here with the Aegis first. I feel like he's always at any point in this game always one good Bastet ult away from first blood or just feeding.
Yeah, exactly. And it's I think it's become harder to hit the Bastet ult as well. So if he's behind a wall or something, and you can see the Baba Yaga and he can get that ult off, that's gonna be very big.
This could be a rough day at the office, but so far so good for Luxio. He has been poked out once. He's doing okay on the Baba Yaga. They are doing quite a lot of damage here to the X-Ball, but here comes the Bastet. She does have the ult available. Luxio Gaming chooses to use the Baba Yaga ult.
Oh my god.
And that's it.
Yeah, here it comes.
Damage. Oh, and here's the Bastet ult. However,
the Aegis has gone huge.
The Aegis going crazy.
This is what he got it for.
Maybe he's just on a complete other level. He understands what's going on here.
Luxio Gaming, don't listen to us. He's ahead of the curve.
I mean, hey, a man of his caliber, obviously he knows what he's doing. I think just the first relic there. I think despite him getting the first blood here, I think if Hakai really know what they're doing, they're gonna look to shut this guy down early.
Yeah, for sure. Now that Aegis is down, he can take tower shots. So
yeah,
back in there with with the Bastet ult.
Oh goodness, especially with the emoji on top of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be very, very surprised. We're going to have to see a Luxio Gaming masterclass if he's going to avoid feeding her.
I think Ravana needs to look at this soul, and Big Joe needs to be looking at this mid 3v3, to be honest, because once emoji gets in there...
I think this Ravana needs to just be on his back camps and speed buff at this point in the game. I'm not really sure what he's doing in duo lane. He's just kind of walking around looking scary.
Yeah, sort of like he wants to do something, but there's nothing to do right now, so
Yeah,
He's getting the wave, I guess. But
yeah. I mean, if
it-
Baba Yaga was switched on here, this is a beeline straight to the back camps. No questions about it. If he runs
yeah,
straight
for
to the
sure.
back camps here, he gets them, he secures them. Maybe not the speed buff, but the back camps alone, he's denying the. Are they going to look for? Surely not. What is this guy doing? Oh, okay. He's prioritizing the obelisk here, and he's
Okay.
going to have his ult forced out. However, that's it.
I'm very surprised he's lived there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
Big Joe
think.
didn't have his ult.
Yeah, I
Um,
think the smarter thing to do, if obviously hindsight's 2020, that Bastet, as soon as the Raven was spotted in left lane, that is an instant run to the back camps. He honestly, just given the choice to go for the obelisk up there, he could have even invaded the speed buff. That whole right jungle would be down for free. I think that was a little bit of a misplay there by Big Joe. He is a little bit ahead in XP, but I feel like this could have been a massive gap for him.
yeah, I think if he just went there straight away, he definitely could have had a shot at that speed buff. Especially with the Mojo, he could just stop the Ravana backing.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Basilius has got away with murder there, and he should count himself very lucky.
Yeah, for sure.
This solo lane matchup going about how we expected to. Camazotz is a very angry bat. Cthulhu is a very big squid. It's pretty much just as soon as you pick Cthulhu, any matchup pretty much becomes a stalemate.
Yeah, the only good matchup Gifu really has right now is into Guan, just because of how many options he has to stop the Talu assault. But I think come late game, this Cthulhu definitely has a
Basilius still
chance
is
to make it
down
bigger.
here. Oh, just off the mark there from Big Joe. That could have been enormous. Basilius, yet again, being, in my opinion, caught in a pretty bad situation, but just not being punished here.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. But this is how you have to be your best at. You need to be consistently hitting those ults, otherwise there won't be much value coming out. So
Oh, here we go. The two people are coming over here. The Sol has an immense amount of pressure. And here we go. Luxio Gaming goes into the house. This should just be a free kill here on the Sol. Rom in the air as well. Sol turning around looking for some damage. Using that lifesteal very well. He has the full Bancroft, but that's going to not be enough there. Now, we need to see how does Hakai respond to this. They need to get something. They are going to look for the Scorpion here, but again, they've just kind of let this happen with no repercussions. The back camps are down. The speed buff's coming up, and Basilius is going to be there. That's just a free gank there.
sort of like I can see Akai having pressure in almost every lane, and we aren't seeing anything come off of it. Like I think Big Joe should be asking his laners for when these the buffs are coming up, so they can get invades off and get something off of this pressure. But nothing's really been done about it right now.
And again, a big rotation here. VTuber's Paradise just making this into an arena game. Now Lina's going to be the victim here, as the Ganesh ult gets dropped, but she does choose to use the Bat Out of Hell. Oh, quite a good ult there from Basilius. Gets over the wall. Now Lina has a tough choice to make. She chooses to try and finish off the Basilius there. Oh no, run Camazotz, run!
No one has mana to finish her off.
Go!
There is Gold Fury being pulled.
Wow, that is catastrophic here for Hakai. A very good steal there from Loki. But, I mean, you have to ask yourself there, if you're Hakai, if you're sat around the Go Fury, you have the people there and there's just a ROM, surely you just deal with the ROM. The rest of the team's in right lane ganking the Camazotz.
Yeah, I mean, Loki hasn't even used his ult for that. So
Yeah,
that's just an auto.
That's just poor planning there from Hakai, I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely. Yeah, I think what do they have? Like 4 people over there. Surely one can spare a second to go and.
I mean, if I can just stay here, I think how this game's looking so far is I believe honestly that despite the scoreline and despite the slight bit of gold here, I think Hakai have been the far superior team. In fact, they are actually ahead still, even after that gold fury. I think they have been the better team. I think their macro play's been better. I think the VTubers Paradise have been putting a lot of effort and a lot of energy and they've been losing a lot of farm to try and force these ganks and force these big rotations, which shouldn't really work, but Hakai is kind of rolling over and letting them get away with it. They've got a lot of pressure just with the laners sat in lane. The Camazotz has got pressure over the Cthulhu. The Souls, despite that death, is still ahead. But I
Yeah.
feel like they're not doing anything with it. I feel like VTubers Paradise have been a lot more active.
Yeah, definitely. Hakai definitely had that pressure all over the map, but nothing's
Also,
really
we
come of
see
it,
some damage
unfortunately.
here. Uses the ult to try and get rid of the trebuchet. There are 4 members of Hakai here in mid looking to push for that trebuchet. And here we go. Luxio gaming in the ult once again. Oh no. The soul
No
rotates
way.
into the mid lane here, but oof.
What? What am I watching?
Yeah.
I don't know what I've just seen.
we are watching some very great Smite gameplay, I'll tell you that.
I mean, he had a really good. Oh, he got them
Yeah.
all off the tower, and then he Mojo ults, gets his team out of there. But Luxio jumps into 4 of them on his own.
I mean,
It's
if I were on the if I were on the Hakai team there, I would be scared just by the fact he's chosen to go in there. Here we go again.
I'd be like, who's hiding around his corner?
Oh, Lina caught lacking at the back of his force. Use the bat out of hell. Emoji's there for the peel. This should just be a free escape here. I
I
think
think
that
Gamma so
yeah,
safe. The Battle of the Hell.
I think it's interesting that they opt for the CAD second item. I don't love it. I don't hate it.
I think it's fine because normally you're looking to go Glad second item, aren't you? But if you're into magical matchup, I mean this Cthulhu's probably not doing that much damage to Lina right now. So
No,
I think
I
think
do.
investing into a full magical item might have been a bit too far. So I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I feel like it's one of those items where it's good and it's a good item overall, but you just don't get that much value from it. I feel like with the amount of pressure that Lina has here, I feel like a different item could have suited her a little bit better. Honestly, maybe even a brawler's just for the anti-healing itself.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hated the brawlers either. It would have enabled her to clear those camps at the back a lot quicker, and just be a big menace to this jungle.
Or hear me out, even just something like a Blackthorn Hammer we've been seeing picked up a little bit on these tanky assassin solos. It's a good amount of power, it's a good amount of health, it's just a decent early game item at the moment. I feel like it would have maybe allowed this snowball a little bit more. That being said, she is 2 levels ahead, so can't really follow gameplay so far.
Exactly.
However, oh, here we go. Luxio, it was a very good ult there from Luxio Gaming to avoid the last ult. Raven comes in here, but nothing to be done there. That's just Luxio's ult for Bastet's ult.
Yeah, and, at least they got Big Joe's beads. I think they can look to. I think VTubers need to be looking at this Pyro. Yeah, I mean, looks like Hakai looking at it now actually.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say this. Hold on, we'll wait till this little dance is done around the pyromancer. I don't really think they're looking to commit to this,
No.
but I would maybe like to see, and you can call me crazy for this. I spend a decent amount of time in the solo lane myself. I would like to see this Camazot to maybe go into a Heartseeker. Some defense should come out now, but a Heartseeker last item, especially with the recent buffs, is just gonna help that team burn that Cthulhu down even more.
Yeah, I think Kama definitely works with another power item in the build. I think that she's gonna probably look to get like a Glad Shield and a Spirit Robe before that. But definitely the last item, the Heartseeker, could go really big, especially the Cthulhu and the ult. Can be getting a lot of value out of that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. Just taking a look over at the builds here, the X-Bell's going into the Shadow Steel build that we're seeing a little bit at the moment, which isn't bad. I don't love it for the early game. I don't hate it for the early game. I feel like it's very RNG based as to whether that build can sort of work. If you land the basics and they're Korean, it's very good. And who are they really buying the anti-heal for here? I guess a little bit of anti-heal overall is good. Obviously, you have the healing from Cthulhu. Oh wow, Hakai's just taking a free Pyromancer there. Now, VTubers, if they are, they're looking for Gold Fury here, which is very smart. I feel like they need to be on this now. But it looks like Hakai are going to be able to get a defense over here.
I think VTubers need to be looking to this fight, to be honest.
Yeah, oh, your Mojo ult just off the mark. It does force them off, though, here. Ganesh taking a lot of damage on the front line. Big Joe jumps in. Ganesh will force defensively. It looks like he's going to go down to the X-Bell here if he hits the basics. Oh, no, it's a swing and a miss there from Mike. But luckily, Az is there to pick it up, and he's just pumping damage. Basili is forced to use the ult defensively there. Az is Luxio gaming. He's inside of that house. He's He's finished his mortgage there. Big Joe just looking to be oh wow, no, Luxie, oh no.
Oh my god. He is very lucky he's got out there.
I mean,
Oh my god, and Lucky stole
not,
it.
not another one.
It's I'm not where just
What
I
is
don't know.
happening here? This has been a back and forth game. I feel like Hakai have been given the keys, but been put in the driver's seat, and then proceeded to crash straight into a wall.
Yeah, I don't know. He did it last time. I feel like you hold it at a certain health threshold and just wait for the Rama ult.
I feel
Like
like
they're not coming back in, so you
if
have all the time in the
Hakai
world.
had picked up both gold furies here, this could be all but over just from the gold deficit. But I mean, these objectives are allowing VTubers to stay in the game, and they do have to credit the Rama for this. Locky with some very good steals, all things considered. I'd argue that Hakai are kind of just giving these away. They're not taking it maybe as seriously as they should around these objectives.
Yeah, there needs to be some call made to secure these objectives at this point, because it's getting to a point where they're doing all this work for these objectives, getting really good fights. They got 1 kill out of the last fight, and then sent everyone else back to base, so it should have been a free gold, but they're just not securing them.
Liner is using abilities furiously, managing to run out of mana even with the Transcendence and blue buff. Liner has just been on a farm and grind here. Yeah, wow. Yeah, as has been pointed out by the production team, Liner with 4,000 gold in hand here. I want to see what she picks up here. I'm thinking, like you said, a Spirit Robe would be good, a Glad Shield, and then honestly, a Heart Seeker or a Brawler's Last Item would round this build off perfectly.
I'm not sure how she's been allowed to just stand there with 4k gold in hand. Not that much protection.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, Luxio Gaming falls there. No relics up there. It's a good gank there from Hakai, finally pressuring this Baba Yaga.
I think Hakai are looking at maybe putting this Fire Giant with the 2 ADCs and Lion's just backed and bought Bad Shield and T2 Brawlers, I'm assuming.
They need to be very careful here with their track record around the FG, around objectives, but here we go. They are pulling the FG here.
Lucky is here to snipe it once again.
Baseja,
Oh, great Whirlpool.
That was a good Riptide there, but like we said, right, we'll wait till this fight's done. Here we go, Camazot's Liner going in, finally back. She has got the full Glad Shield. It looks like she's going to go into the Brawlers. That damage is going huge. Cthulhu, the ult comes out here, but he is getting shredded. Big Joe picks up the kill there. Here we go. Oh no, Cthulhu's going down. That damage from Liner is just unstoppable. Obviously, the stain coming out as well. They're all full HP. They could be looking for an early Fire Giant here. Luxio Gaming forced to jump in that cauldron and just get out of there.
Yeah, I think he used both his relics for that as well. So there should be a relatively free fire.
Relatively, this is the freest Fire Giant I've ever seen. However, we would have said that about the past 2 Gold Furies that have been stolen.
The only steal chance here is Dorsey going huge with an ult and getting a cheeky one off. But
yeah, the Dark
I don't see that happening at level 13.
Yeah, not a chance in this world. They're finally.
You think so?
Oh no! Dorsey comes in the dark.
Oh my god! Someone needs to go into Hakai's chat and sort them out. Like who's stealing that? With a Ganesh ult at level 13.
An absolute disaster class. This is a prime example of how not to push a lead here.
Oh my! Hakai really need to just have some sort of squad sit down and ask, what are our damage doing? Because
it's in that situation. It's as simple as there's one person here. If we just send one person to walk at him angrily, or even just kill him, there's not a chance they secure that. Oh, this is.
I mean, Lina's level 19. Like, she should be just slicing through this Ganesh 14, like butter at this point. Like,
and she just
the zone just wasn't there. He's dashed in. He has nothing to get out with. It's just...
Liner does opt for the Crusher, which is gonna be okay for trying to shred down the back line. But
I'm not sure I love the Crusher, I can't lie.
Yeah, neither. I would like to see if that is their only other damage item. That should be a Heart Seeker, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, if there's healing on the other side, I'd normally go with Brawlers, but Heart Seeker definitely for this match, I think.
Agreed, without a shadow of a doubt. VTubers, I thought were getting too big for their britches there, looking for the T1 tower, but they do recognize that they are still behind, so they are going to have to retreat here. Now Hakai posturing up for another unsuccessful Gold Fury attempt, you'd imagine, just given their track record.
At this point, anything can happen.
Now, how are they going to steal this? I'd say watch out for any mosquitoes, because these objectives have always been a gnat's sneeze away from getting secured, apparently.
Honestly, if someone on VTubers has Scepter, it might be that seals it at this point.
Here we go. Line is getting low here. Does have the Bat Out of Hell still. The Cthulhu's going into the ult. Liner's going to use it now. Liners have to be very, very careful now.
Luxio's in there with the house.
Luxio's going stupid. The full of Hakai here getting quite low. The Curse Dunk does get popped. There's no more healing in this fight for them, and their team is very sustain orientated. It looks like they're on the back foot here. VTuber's Paradise turning this around in one fight potentially. Here we go. Ravana fight. Oh, that is a very big pick onto the soul here, and it looks like they're going to get the free Gold Fury. The Hakai, what are you doing? Yeah, no, they're going to look for a steal of their own. No, you guys aren't VTubers.
Surely Paul Uno. No, Big Joe, no.
No, Big Joe. What is that?
He has been caught out, and yeah, I think Hakai needs to just sort of look inwards for this one, because they're the worst enemies at this point.
What I have to say is, I'd like to see Hakai pause here. Tactical pause. I think they need it.
Just say someone's DD or something.
I think they just need to speak to each other a little bit. I think it must be a lack of communications here. I mean, just look at the last few plays that they've made. They've engaged onto a team with Fire Giant, which is questionable in and of itself. Liner was forced to use the ult early, and then it was just a one-way ticket back to base there as the Cthulhu uses the Descent into Madness.
Yeah, it's,
what is going on?
I don't know, because they weren't that far ahead, and then VTubers have Fire Giant. It's sort of nothing. You don't want to be at their purple buff when they have Fire Giant.
Oh my god.
I think Hakai really should just take what farm they could, and just make sure that VTubers aren't getting an objective. And then once it's gone, then they can look for that Gold Fury fight.
VTubers are actually ahead now. They've come back from over a 4,000 gold deficit through no one's fault but Hakai. If Hakai had gotten all of the objectives here that have been stolen, we'd been probably, other than that last fight, we would probably have been looking for yeah. We would have been in next lobby. We would have been looking at picks and bans. We probably would have been looking at a Camazot's ban right now. But unfortunately, we're still watching this absolute, as I've said before, disaster class.
Certainly not what you want. But I guess that's what comes when you have two ADCs, no secure.
I guess this is what comes when you just don't play well enough. And in my opinion, this has just been lazy here from Hakai.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good ability. Oh, here we go. Luxio gaming inside of the house. He likes being inside of this house quite a lot. He's firing it off left, right, and center. He just need to be careful here with his beads down. Big Joe's ultimate is going to be up relatively quickly. He has quite a lot of CDR. Basili is forced to use the ult there defensively, which is quite smart. However, he's not going to have it obviously for the next fight.
Yeah, imagine if someone told Luxio that Sands of Time had cooldown. He'd be in that house a lot more.
On God, I want to see what he picks up here last. Now, there's a lot of items in Smite that could be purchased, and he does choose to go for the probably. I'm hoping that's Staff of Mirrodin, but finally getting some cooldown online, getting a little bit more percent pen. He's going to be doing a lot of damage to everyone on the enemy team here. He's got a lot of percent pen, a lot of flat pen.
I'm a bit confused by this Karen's coin pickup by Luxio.
I think it's just because it stacks and he's Babo.
Yeah, I guess so. I think I would just prefer to go an Shard.
Yeah, on God. Although, to be fair, we have seen some buffs to Karen's coin recently. I think it's an okay item. It did get a whole...
definitely an okay item, but I mean... if you're going to get it, I'd have preferred it earlier.
Yeah, for real. I guess Baba Yaga can stack it quicker than anyone else, though. Yeah, Basilius has gone for the super... I mean, don't ever give this man a pencil. He's got pens for days. Look at the amount of penetration on that build.
He'd definitely be able to... I think he might be able to get one shot off in these team fights with that build, to be honest.
Yeah, for real. Especially with how squishy that Camazotz is. However...
Yeah, I mean... Yeah,
the lack of match eyes. Yeah, I feel like...
the damage that Pele was doing.
I would have liked to see a Magi's Revenge perhaps be picked up here.
On the Ravana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would could have been alright.
You just have to laugh. What is going on here? Honestly, what I have to put this down to is the Hakai mental being shattered by the lack of options. Here we go. A great
That's a big
Yamojiro
ol'-
finally lands a good Yamojiro here. Does manage to get the pick up here onto Luxio Gaming. Forces the descent into Manasir by the Cthulhu. Ganesh trying to peel for that backline. As Linus on low HP here and dies with ult up. Okay, Basilius does put that pen to good use. Basilius is just running around here. Forces. He killed Liner without the. What is Liner doing? The full of Hakai here getting very, very low. They do have to be careful. Locky forced to use the Aegis there. Big Joe very, very, very narrowly escapes with his life there. Now, a few things to note from that fight. We have the Karmazots dying with ult. We have the Baba Yaga dying with ult. Or maybe he didn't have it back up, doing the 0 cooldown challenge by the looks of it. But it was finally a good Yamojiro. I think that's the first Yamojiro from this game that I think has been substantial. And there we go. We see all things considered a pretty good fight come out there for Hakai. Although we can't disregard they did lose another objective.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why the Bastet ult was used on a Baba that's already in a Yamojiro.
I mean, at that point, they're struggling to secure so much stuff. I mean, I'd say it's probably a good play. As I said, mental shattered. Not a single objective really being secured.
Now, yeah, it's 4K ahead in favor of YouTubers at this point.
This is an absolute shambles. If you're Hakai here, what are you thinking?
I think VTubers probably just look to take objectives because it's not like Hakai looking to secure this one.
Not looking to secure any of them. They don't even need to look for the objectives. They just keep stumbling into them.
Yeah, apparently. They could probably go and do Oni Fury and Rama snipe across the map.
I mean, Hakai they couldn't finish their dinner, it looks like. This is atrocious. Oh my goodness gracious me. This is an interesting game of Smite. Now, all ultimates are going to be available. We're just going to have to take a look at the relics here to see what targets are really going to be.
A lot of relics down for both sides, to be honest.
Yeah,
not available for either support.
Oh, here we go. Looks of Gaming getting a very good poke there from Bastet. That's what she's known for. That's her calling card. The jump in, the 2, and she gets out. She just does a lot of damage there. Luxio Gaming might be forced to back, and he is. Now, if Hakai recognizes this, there needs to either be a Fire Giant, pull her and engage it. A very, very, very good Bastet ult there from Big Joe. Into the Yamojiro. The Yamojiro off the mark here. Making Liner go in alone. Bat out of health, forced out. Goes in aggressively. This is Smite, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Liner chooses to go in after the bat out of hell.
Not quite sure what's going on there. Dorsey's escaped with 0 HP and so's Locky. Dorsey was in at Yamojiro and I think he's just about managed to dash out of it.
Honestly, Locky, I think he needs to rename himself to Lucky here. He's getting out so low in these fights.
5 ults used on the side of Hakai and 0 kills. It's
Now, I do have to say this once again. I sound like a broken record, but the Yamojiro again, just not doing what she needs to do. I think it did force out the Phantom Shell, but these Yamojiros, they are critical for Hakai's game plan, and they are going missing. Now, VTubers are going to pull the Fire Giant here. I mean, it's not like Hakai are going to be able to pick this one up. Here we go, looking for a steal of their own.
Secured it.
Yep. Surprise, surprise, another objective for VTubers Paradise.
They can secure Hakai's and they can secure their own.
Wow, incredible. Hakai trying to do their best attempt here of VTubers Paradise looking for a steal. I mean, what do you do here as Hakai? You had the keys to the kingdom, but you've dropped them at the door.
Well, yeah, I think at this point I let these T2 towers go and just say I'm going to defend Phoenix's. They're not really in a position. They're 6k down. They've been losing nearly every fight so far. I don't see them winning one right now when the other team have FG. And what's Mike doing?
I've been asking myself this all game.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the 2 backliners were stepping up as a front line there.
Yeah.
I mean, I just set up camp under Phoenix at this point. You're not winning anything when they don't have FG, and you're certainly not going to be winning it now when they do.
Now, what I have to say here is I think that as we transition into this late game, everyone's getting full build. I would like to see that breastplate of oh no, never
my
mind.
God.
We're going in. That is a big ult there from Cheeto, but the descent into madness he used. Threadus is going crazy there. Although he is getting low here, he does need to be careful. But I mean, at this point, they get what they want. They're ahead.
Yeah, no, I think Soul's HP disappeared there.
Yeah, I mean, oh here we go, another objective. This is embarrassing. If I'm a guy, I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed. I'd be hanging my head in shit. I don't think I could be seen in the Galarian Smite League again after this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're stepping up to that T2. As I said, they're not winning anything anywhere right now. So T2 is not particularly where I want to fight. Phoenix definitely. There's only 3 towers on the map. It could be a lot worse. They could have still had a lot more gold to
Right.
take.
Yeah, I mean, 10,000. If you would have told me that 15 minutes, 10 minutes into this game, that we were going to see a 10,000 goal differential, I wouldn't have batted an eyelid. I would have thought, yeah, Hakai are going to be absolutely dominating. If you would have told me Vici was paradise, I would have eaten my shoe. Not a chance in this ball, I would have said. But just down to faults after faults after faults by Hakai, Vici was paradise in the driving seat here. Now we do see the Divine picked up by the Cthulhu. The 90% anti-heal is going to go crazy.
Yeah, I think Hakai really just needs to look at themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's not like VTubers done anything extraordinary here. They've literally just played off Hakai's mistakes.
Indeed. Now, as I was saying before we were rudely interrupted by a team fight, was I would like to see this Cthulhu get rid of the Breastplate of Valor. If he opts to go into a Spectral Armor here, he's going to be unkillable to that X-Bal. The X-Bal, for some reason, doing the 0% pen challenge outside of the Executioner. He's got no kin size into the Cthulhu, which is just embarrassing for a start. They have no form of percentage health damage here. No. What are they building?
Yeah,
what
I'm
are
not
Hakai
sure.
doing?
Hakai are literally handicapping themselves. Are they trying to make this as hard as possible?
Are they trying to keep me here longer than I need to be? Is this a
XL
prank?
just hasn't been told that there's a Cthulhu on the other side. Apparently.
Yeah. I mean, Lina probably thought she had this Cthulhu under wraps, but as the game's transitioned here, Cthulhu's proven a very, very big problem here because they can't do any damage to him. Now, the whole of Hakai here are getting low. X-Bal forced to dash out.
Oh, the snipe is cool.
Karmic Pillar's coming out, and Lockie gets that is a terrific snipe there onto the X-Bal. The whole of Hakai getting low here. Oh, Rama's going stupid with it. Rom's going crazy. The triple kill.
Oh my god, ignore the Kamazots. You got a game to go win.
I don't believe what I'm seeing here.
Oh my, just go and kill. Oh my god, what is going on?
They can do what they want. They're in the driver's seat. They're just doing whatever they want. They're playing with their food here.
Obviously.
And this is game 1 going over to VTuber's Paradise. If I'm Hakai, I'm embarrassed. I don't think I can show my face after this.
I think I just forfeit the next game, to be honest, because apparently I'm shot myself in the third.
If I'm Hakai, if I'm
Titan's done more this game than anyone on
There we go. The Titan's good. Honestly, if that was Hakai on the other end there, I'd be struggling to see if they were going to secure the kill on the Titan. And game 1 here goes over to VTuber's Paradise, and I have to say, one of the worst performances I've seen here from Hakai as a team. I think they need to take a good hard look at themselves before this next game if they want to show up and provide any sort of a reasonable match here.
Yeah, honestly, I was about to say I'm not quite sure it went wrong, but I am. Hakai literally threw the game for themselves. I think they need to pick up an E-set or something on the second game, just so they know that they have secure. Cheeto definitely didn't go as big as I thought he would on this Umoja. Honestly, I think they just go 5 mages so they secure this, definitely.
I think even with an E-set, they're going to struggle. I don't think this is down. They have gods. They have Soul. Soul can secure with their ultimate ability. It does a ton of damage. But I think we need to stop looking at the gods and start looking at the players. It's either a lack of communication, or I don't know what it is. I don't know what you can pin that on. 1 or 2, fair enough.
Someone needs to take the reins in Hakai and say, we need to stop dropping everything, because at this point I wouldn't trust them with a baby, because apparently they'll just drop that.
Well, I mean, if they were dropping these objectives, it's fine. Just getting out secured every single time. What I have to say here is, are Hakai going to be able to show up to this second game? Because they're going to have to show up like nothing's happened if they want a chance. Because if I'm them, I'm tilted. I'm gone.
Yeah, I think
if I'm Big Joe there, I'm tucked in bed right now. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, they need to try and delay the second game so they can just get their mentals back. Because I mean, you're looking at what, a 2-level lead in solo. They had a lead in jungle at some point, I'm sure. There was a lead in duo, even though they'd been ganked already. I think Cheetah was even with Dorsey the whole game. Like, they had leads everywhere, and they've just thrown it for themselves.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, Hakai they need to do something because that was embarrassing.
I think the fact that Shibalangi hasn't picked up her kin size with a Cthulhu on the other side is criminal. Umoja, level 17, obviously hasn't been told that you can upgrade your starter at level 15. Bastet still hasn't got upgraded items.
Yeah, the
yeah,
Bastet damage there wasn't great, especially with a god like Bastet where you want to be in and out poking all the time. I feel like they just couldn't implement their game plan. I feel like there was a number of things that went wrong for Hakai there as well. Not just obviously the shambolic objective play. Cheeto wasn't really landing any ults. I do have to say the Kamazots was misplayed in my opinion. The Battle of Hell was being used aggressively far, far, far too much.
yeah, definitely. Like, I think Lionel was landing into 4 of them on that last Battle of Hell. And it's just like that.
I feel like she fell into the very common solo lane trap of being what seems unkillable for such a long time, and then when they
Definitely.
finally start getting these power spikes online, and you think you're unkillable, and then boom, that's it, dead.
Yeah, the problem was that these fights were happening around objectives that Hakai needed, and then
Yeah.
they were losing these fights, and then VTubers were just getting the gold lead off of that.
Yeah, Luxio Gaming, I do have to say, after what should have been a rough early game, did start pumping some serious damage. But honestly, Lockie as well played fantastically. And I do have to say, if I can point my finger towards one man who won them that game, I have to say it's Lockie. He performed outstandingly there. I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
so
He's
a lot
still,
of it was through his own skill because he's a very, very talented player. But a lot of it was just Hakai letting him do what he wants. He stole objectives with the basic for crying out loud.
yeah, I mean, what did he steal? 2 gold furies on his own. And then Dorsey coming in with that really, really, really big clutch Ganesh ult on the Fire Giant. So yeah, just I kind of let it go, and I think we should hopefully be looking at a closer game too. To be honest, as
Yeah, I
long as
think
they can secure these objectives.
we are going into a break here, and honestly, I have to say, I'm not sure whether I'll be back from this break. Because if I'm Hakai, I'm not showing up ever again. I'm changing my name. I'm moving to Zimbabwe, and I'm adopting a new lifestyle. I'm never touching this game again.
Yeah, yeah. Kai really need to sharp game to show that this draft that they've got now can perform.
Indeed, indeed. So we are going to have to jump into a break here, and we'll catch you guys for game 2. Hopefully, a little bit more competitive than this game.
break up and then we 2 o'clock and now we're day drunk. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. I cannot fall asleep without you by my side, but when you're here I'm more cold. Yeah, we got something special, but I cannot be the main act in a pyro. Tell me what you gonna do when they catch us, when they pull out big guns and they blast us. The final end to our mad love. Cause we fight and then we make love. We break up and then we 2 o'clock and now we're day drunk. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. When we dance and then we fall hit the speed and then we slow down. 2 o'clock and now we're day drunk. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. Cause we fight and then we make love. We break up and then we 2 o'clock and now we're day drunk. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. When we dance and then we fall hit the speed and then we slow down. 2 o'clock and now we're day drunk. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us.
You got scars deep enough to last. Heart full of broken glass, and I'm gonna paint it black. Oh, I got bruises I covered up. I've been used every time I loved. Nothing to lose when the devil comes. Oh, turn out the lights, we can turn them down, 'cause turn out the lights, we can burn them out, 'cause I know what's waiting, I know what it's made of, what it's made of. Come and take me closer to the edge now. If you think you can't love me, you can show me how to have a breakdown. If you're gonna touch me, I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark. You can show me how to have a breakdown.
And we are back here. Hakai versus VTubers Paradise Game 2. Myself, Connor Topshagger on chair 1 here, joined by Miranda's once again. We've been having some conversations over the break here. We've been looking through some of the memes that are coming out already. And we've just been having a great time here.
Yeah, it's been a good laugh to watch game 1, but hopefully Hakai come back to give us more memes game 2.
Here we go. Similar bands off to the same things here. Now, is there any bands that you'd like to see here? Or could we maybe be looking towards? Honestly, I don't really think there's anything that Hakai need to ban. I think they just need to play
Yeah,
better.
but if you ask Hakai, start banning themselves, to be honest.
Oh, they do respect ban out the Raven there, which I do think is quite smart. I don't know how Basilius is going to perform on another god here. VTubers Paradise smart by banning out the Darji. And we do see the Kepri pick up here. I do like the Kepri first. I think that is a good pick. VTubers Paradise taking the ROM again. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They've got the objective master here.
Yep, I like the Kepi pickup. It's definitely going to give them a lot of value in this game as long as these ults are going on to the right people.
Yes. And another Cthulhu. I mean, he probably enjoyed the last game so much because, well, there was a Crusher instead of a Heart Seeker. There was crit into the Kins.
Hopefully, Hakai have done their research over the break and found out what Kin size is. King Kai, Kin size, isn't it?
Yes, King size. King Kai's is the prestigious
team, yeah.
team.
Yeah, Kin size is what we're looking for this game, and hopefully we'll see it. If not, then I think we're going to start getting interviews going on.
The interviews are going to be something else. I do have to say, ladies and gentlemen, I'd say stick around. Now we do see the Vulcan picked up early here. I don't mind it, but there are some picks that go quite well into Vulcan, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful here.
Personally, I'm not sure about this Vulcan with a Cthulhu on the other side. Like, you're not really getting away from it at that point.
Now, I do have to mention, Vulcan ult is one of the highest damaging abilities in the game. So we could be looking at some sort of secure here, which is great. Which is exactly what we've been discussing over the break. We want to see someone with a little bit of secure. We were talking like, but maybe a bit of an E set. Obviously, she's not entirely in the meta at the moment. Maybe could have seen her in the support even, but we do look at the Kepri here, and probably the Vulcan mid. Ares, a good pickup here into the Vulcan and the Kepri. I like the Ares pick. What about you, man?
I like the Ares pick as well, especially those chains able to steal objectives very easily.
I'd be careful. That fire can tick for quite a lot.
The two is what's going to get it. But also, in all seriousness, I do like the Ares. I think with the Ares, you're going to be looking at this Medusa lane a lot more because obviously Vulcan can backfire now. When he has the ult up, obviously spamming that in mid, because Vulcan doesn't have a CC immune ult.
Yep. I like the Morrigan, but I feel like a Morrigan ban was I feel like if you don't ban Morrigan here, you lose the game on the spot. The Ares and Cthulhu, and even the Kepri, you're giving them too much value, so I do like that ban. And the Baba Yaga respect ban did get quite a lot of value after the questionable early game with the Aegis.
Yeah, I think the thing with Baba Yaga is you're always going to be able to get something out of it, just because you can press 4 and get a lot of damage off and be very safe. So I'm very happy with that ban.
I do like that Hakai are waiting a while here to pick their jungler, because it's leaving VTuber's Paradise in a little bit of a sticky situation with their mid lane pick here. Because I think they do need to pick something relatively safe. I'd say something with high damage, but I mean, they can out-secure them with pretty much anything at this point. They could sneeze on the objective and out-secure Hakai. So maybe something with just a little bit more consistent damage, maybe something potentially like a Merlin.
Yeah, I like Merlin. I think Merlin goes really well right now. Obviously having that really, really disgusting late game, especially if he's allowed to just live in the back line. But with Hakai, probably going to look for like a team fight jungle.
Now here's the Ratatoska. I do quite like the Ratatoska. I feel like it's quite good into Vulcan.
Yeah, Rat just able to bring out so much burst damage. And if this Cthulhu is going to be taking all the aggression, then this Rat should be able to just ult into the backline.
I do think a very, very smart draft here from VTubers. I like that they're leaving their mid laners so late. I don't think that they could have gotten away with the mid lane pick here. I think they kind of need to know the matchup, especially with the jungle not being picked up here by Hakai yet.
Yeah, especially with how much damage Luxio was able to do last game. Being able to give him whatever he wants this game will be really good.
Now, call me a psychopath, but I would love to see a Carly pick up.
Yeah, I agree actually. Ares just wouldn't be able to get away from her. Cthulhu's obviously going to get shredded when that Carly gets skin size.
No, we're going to say if.
Oh, if. Oh, yes, if. we could obviously see a full damage build from that Carly if it comes through. I think something that's able to do consistent damage from Hakai in the jungle would be good.
Or just any damage really for Hakai.
Any damage, yeah. I mean, he had more damage than Basilius last game, so
yeah, I mean,
Hummat's hovered. I'm not particularly sure I like the Hummats, I can't lie.
I'm not convinced with that either. Gonna get no value against the Cthulhu, not gonna get too much value against the Ares. I do like it into Ratatoska. It's good for peeling, it's good for getting that Ratatoska off your backline as he does pick it up. I don't mind the Achilles pick, it's honestly, given how they were struggling with the Cthulhu first game, I'll rate it. I like it.
Yeah, because obviously once he's in that ult, you're gonna be able to take away a lot of health once he gets below 25%.
And
like,
it's gonna be
25% for him. It's gonna be like 1.5k health still.
And it's gonna be almost impossible to miss.
Yeah, exactly.
Keyword being almost here.
Almost, yes. Anything can come out at this point. But
now, what are we gonna look at here?
I think I'd like CC immunity just so the Simbats is not getting any value.
Perhaps.
Maybe I was gonna say disco, but I'm not sure.
Honestly, I don't really think the CC immunity is that necessary. I'd like to see a Thoth.
Yeah, Fourth could. Yeah. Oh, and there it goes.
And he shoots! He scores! I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, that isn't staged. That is a Thoth on your screen. That is just the wisdom coming out here from years of gameplay.
Yeah, Fourth definitely can do bits this game, especially with is it percent? No, it's flat pen that's been added to the Book of Fourth, isn't it? So,
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
He's just gonna be able to work really well with that item right now. And obviously
mean-
it is like something that's being built in mid lane. So
I mean,
think I mean, we could be seeing some Fourth ults steals.
if he wants to waste his ult stealing it, that's fine. I think he could get away with just a basic. Now, we are in the game here. No unexpected positionings here. Everyone in the normal positions. We are going to go into this game too. And I think if we're Hakai, just looking at the picks and bans, much cleaner than last game in terms of playing into a Cthulhu. They chose not to go for Sol again into Cthulhu, which is nice.
Yeah, I
Oh.
agree.
Now-
Vulcan obviously able to do a lot of damage to that turret.
I believe that we will be able to tell how this game's going to go, ladies and gentlemen, in about 6 minutes when that Medusa gets her first tier of her second item online. If I see crit, I'm going to walk off. I'm going to go to bed. That's going to be good night from me, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to hope to see an executioner. We're going to hope to see a kin size coming out here just to be able to blow up Cthulhu here. Now, obviously, the early pressure is probably going to go the way to VTuber's Paradise here with the Ares, with the ROM. The clear is just unparalleled.
Yeah, definitely. And the Ares has picked up the Sentinels, which I think for supports is just a lot better in lane than Benevolence. Benevolence obviously able to go into that Compassion late game, which will really help out the team. But for lane, yeah, this Ares is going to just dominate. And it's going to help all that Scepter secure as well.
They do go for the first totem here again, which is good. They are getting that macro play on the go already. Now, I would like to see Basilius just pointing out a couple of flaws from last game. I would like to see him actually do his back camps this game. He neglected them for quite a while last game. And if he's going to choose to play the same way last game, I think that Big Joe needs to recognize this and he needs to be on those back camps. He needs to be more active.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with this rat picking up Blink first. I'd honestly like to see once Big Joe gets to level 5, just be on those back camps and ulting on to rat and taking that 1v1.
Oh God, yeah, that is a questionable Blink pickup in my humble opinion.
If Big Joe can do that, then I think he can put this rat seriously behind.
This game could be coffins if Hakai played this right, but we could have said that last game.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we have no idea how it's going to go until they get into objective play.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hopefully see Hakai with a lot more of a smooth objective plan rather than just a coin flip around these objectives. A coin flip that was heavily in their favour, may I add, but yeah, again, just getting quite, I'd say unlucky, but just poor play.
Yeah, I mean, unlucky would be one Gold Fury, not a Gold Fury, the next Gold Fury, and then a Fire Giant.
And a couple of Pyromancers just for good measure.
Exactly, yeah. I think they got the first Pyro and that was about it.
Yeah, literally. If they had got all the objectives that they should have had last game, the game would have been over. We probably would have been in the interviews right now.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, things happen, and hopefully Hakai can clean up this game.
Duo lane is getting poked out here. They're going to have a lot of pressure, but they're taking a lot of damage for it. Speaking of poked out, Luxio Gaming somehow getting poked out as Thoth. You would think it would be the other way around. Does opt for the Sands of Time here this game, which I do think is a little bit of a better pickup. Both of them looking to go into the Book of Thoth, that flat pen being a very big deal. However, the Thoth is going to already, with the flat pen in his passive, is going to get a lot of value as he's finding a lot of poke onto the Vulcan here, equalizing that HP. Vulcan going to be forced to back without the mana here.
I mean, Big Joe coming in.
Oh, Big Joe going big. Unfortunate here. He does have the ult now. If he just turns around and oh no, he doesn't have blink. Never mind. I'm silly. Kepri is an okay pick into the Ares here. Just kind of depends how the Ares chooses to play. If he lands the chains first, those flames are going to be free on the minions.
Yeah, definitely. I think Big Joe should be looking to play around this mid 3v3 this game, especially with Rat not having beads. Just it should, and the Ares not having beads.
I do have I do have to say here, just in terms of matchup, I do like the Thoth pick into the Vulcan, just because the Vulcan is going to have to step up to use that backfire on the wave. He is always going to have to be within range of those minions, and Thoth is just, with a god like Thoth, you can't really... Oh, here we go. Blink ult comes out here. Okay, Cheetah opts not to use the beads here, uses them afterwards. Rom going to go into the air. If he lands this could be a kill. Just doesn't have the damage, but very good there. Gets the... Cheetah said, I'm saving those for later. And then immediately
it's
used
the
them.
next game apparently if they make it. Yeah, I've got no idea why he just wouldn't use the beads there and then.
I
Obviously,
think he thought he was a
hopefully
little bit tankier than he was.
Yeah, apparently so. But hopefully he's learnt a lesson. Next time I'll
Yeah, the
press that
misplays
button.
have started already here.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness
It's,
gracious me.
Yeah.
Now, just picking up from what I said last game, I do like the Blackthorn Hammer pickup here on the Achilles. I feel like it's a decent early game item. I don't want to see a liner have this item 35 minutes into the game, but I do think it's a good early game item, especially into Cthulhu. Health just works really, really well in the solo lane, especially when you're up against that physical magical split. Health going to give you tankiness on either side. I like that first item.
Yeah, I like the Blackthorn pickup as well. As you said, I think it should be solo game, but obviously, giving you the power and health, I'm not sure Liner wants to be going into magical right now because there aren't much that are going to give you power and magical protection. So.
Yes. Now, again, second game in a row, Big Joe going for the Bumbers. He does like this item. I think Eye of the Jungle is a little bit stronger at the moment, just in terms of start round picks. Maybe he's going for the cooldown. He's obviously already got the Jotuns. I'd imagine going into a Transcendence or a Hydra's here. So he's going to have a lot of cooldown if he opts for that Bumber's Hammer, but I think Spear is probably a better item just overall at the moment.
Yeah, Boomer Spear is what I would go for. I think with Mats, it's one of those gods where you can go either or. Obviously, you get the attack speed with the Eye of the Jungle. I think if you're going down the Boomer's route, then you're looking to sort of just get in there and one-shot someone.
Indeed. Right. So a pretty slow start here. No one really doing anything. Everyone's just like last game, standing around looking scary. I think, like you said, the objective play is where this game's going to be decided here.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think either team really has a lane bully, so there won't be. I don't think we're going to see anything until the team fights come together.
I think we could see some sparks start to fly in this mid lane, especially if the Thoth plays Thoth like Thoth is meant to be played. I've said Thoth about 1,000 times there. But I'd like to see a lot of poke come out here. You just have to be a little bit careful with his positioning. But overall, I don't think he's going to be punished.
We can see this Ares and Rat patrolling the jungle and looking for a solo lane.
Oh, here we go. Solo lane going to get ganked early here. Liner caught completely up. Oh, no. What? Achilles caught with his pants down there, ladies and gentlemen, as the first blood goes over to Vici with Paradise. A very, very, very good rotation there, and nothing called. Liner had no idea they were coming.
Yeah, like absolutely none. And Freddy's has done very well to body block that ult.
Fantastic.
I think Liner's probably hopefully learnt to buy wards. As we can see, 2 wards coming out now.
Yep. Yeah, she said, nope, that's not happening again, which, you know what they say, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. She's not going to fall for that one again, let's say that. I think she got a little bit too comfortable on that Kamazot's last game, but I feel like on a god like Kamazot, she can kind of get away with that. She is opting in for more damage. Oh, here we go, Humbattle coming out. There we go, good kill by
doing
Joe
big
there.
plays.
He does also, we have to note there, he forces out, it's a wasted beads there from Thoth, so it's going to be a free gank whenever Humbats wants it. This is what you were saying, you wanted a god with some CC immunity. However, I feel like into Humbats, once your beads are down, you don't have a chance to cast, to channel that ultimate a lot of the time by the time his ult's down.
That was a very fast Rama right there.
Indeed.
Surely
Is that Rama or is his...
for speed hacks.
I think we're watching Mo Farah over here in the duo lane. Now, I think it is interesting to note that Achilles did take that L, took quite a lot of damage quite quickly, and said, "No, I'm going more damage." I think that is interesting.
I'm not sure I enjoy where this build's going. I can't lie.
I'm not sold either.
I think defense should be bought on Achilles at this point.
Yeah, one power item's fine. 2, maybe with 1 later in the build's okay, but I feel like early game, if you just get a little bit of defense online as Achilles, you're pretty much ungankable, especially if you choose to put that armor on.
I think having an early, no, not early, just I think it's normal to buy a defense item at this point. Just having that defense online would make the gank a lot less likely to happen on you, just because you're probably not likely to get a kill unless you're investing a lot into that solo.
I mean, hey, maybe Lana took some tips from me last game after I was saying I'd like to see a little bit more damage. Just like to clarify, on Camazots only, on Assassins only, I don't feel like it's getting value on this Achilles.
No, I think you need to be a tanky with this Achilles. And
Now, oh, here we go again. Lina's forced to use the ultimate and goes down once again to a gank. That damage really doing absolutely nothing for her in the laning phase. It's 0-2 now. This Cthulhu's getting big. This Ratatoski's getting big. This Achilles is shambolic so far. Ares is going to go for the ultimate here. Lands it onto the Kepri, who's full HP. Oh, big
my.
Vulcan ult coming out. And a big Vulcan ult misses.
They've missed 2 big circles there.
Big Joe getting out. Good Kepri ult there. Cheeto getting his teammate out alive there. Yeah, as you said, the 2 big circles have gone missing.
Hopefully they hit those on the hello.
Now, what I have to say is, right, first of all, what's going on here? Second, I feel like the brawler's questionable from Achilles. Now, this should be a dead Ratatoska, surely.
No way.
Oh no, it's a dead Hunbats. I got the wrong animal. I thought it was a dead squirrel. Turns out it was a dead monkey.
Oh my gosh.
Basili is just getting away with literal murder here. Kepri's going to try his hand at getting this. Now, even Kepri's going to have to be careful. And Medusa's coming over. Medusa wants a little bit of this squirrel action. Vulcan looks for them. Misses is a bit...
Oh my...
They can't secure objectives. They can't secure kills. What can they secure?
I think it's getting worrying. Obviously, we're missing circles. I think someone on Hakai is gonna have to point out where the enemy is. I think we need to get Cam on his Hunbats going to his back camps, because I would like to see if he hits the back camps.
Now, I'd just like to say, ladies and gentlemen, this stream isn't sponsored, but I would like to see maybe a Specsavers sponsor come through soon, as the Hakai vision is coming into question. I think they need an optician's appointment. Now, Achilles, I would, just looking back at that Brawler's Beat Stick there, I think if you're going to go anti-heal, I think you sack off the Warrior's Axe completely, you go into a Tainted, and you just say goodbye to Brawler's
I'd like
Beat
to point
Stick.
out the moment a troop is coming from Medusa, whether they buy the tank.
Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the king size comes out. Medusa with the play of the century. A vast improvement on the last game. You know what? You've got to give credit where credit is due. Azza had a good game last game. The build was just... Oh, no, it wasn't Azza, sorry. It was Mike who went for the crit last game.
Yeah, it was.
Never mind. I do have to say, the last game, Azza did play well overall, just...
Yeah, he had that lead even though he was ganked.
Yeah.
Obviously not seeing that level of pressure this time. Obviously Lockie has that lead this time, and Lockie is going for a bit of crit. So I think the days of this Medusa 1v1 in the realm are probably ending.
Yeah, we have touched on the Brawler's Beat Stick. Like I said, I feel like that needs to be attainted, realistically. If you want to go anti-heal, and then you need some defense.
I'm not sure where it's cut. Does Lina think there's healing in the Cthulhu kit?
Just someone...
Obviously, I haven't heard of that update.
Wait, who, sorry?
On a Cthulhu, I don't know why you're buying this. Brawlers.
Oh, here we go. Big Joe with a good ultimate there. And just doesn't have the damage there, misses the 2, and Basilius gets away once again with murder.
Okay.
What I have to say is, I don't dislike the anti-heal pickup. I think it's just the wrong item. They do have... Now, you look at their team, it doesn't scream anti-heal. However, throughout the fights, you're going to have that Mail of Renewal going. You're going to have Ares' 2, which does give a lot of HP 5 nowadays. And also the Cthulhu, where he's going to be in his ult. He's going to be using nothing. Hold on, never mind. The Ares is going in here with ult forces both of the beads out there. Now, they're going to have to be very, very careful here. Hakai in the middle lane. This is Gank City.
Yeah, would like to see the 3v3 come out sometime.
I feel like, oh,
Especially-
here we go. Right, this is looking very similar to last game. However, it was Hakai that were in this position. Now, are Hakai going to be going for some crazy steals this game?
Could be with the Volcano. Definitely able to get it with that at like max range. They are pulling it.
Here we
Vulcan
go.
doesn't
They are
have
pulling the
ult,
Gold Fury here. They're
could be a
getting
turret steal at this point.
they're getting quite cocky around these objectives. Obviously, you would be after the last game. Brazilian is forced to use the ult there defensively. Medusa comes in, Petrify lands, doesn't get the stun, but gets the slow into 3 people. Looks like your gaming forced out on low HP.
I did like the play that Az was going for there. I think he was looking to get that spit onto one of VTuber's members just to finish off Luxio.
Now,
Unfortunately,
they
didn't
are
quite reach.
looking... this is a lot of pressure here for Hakai around the Gold Fury. Could we be looking at a potential early objective here? They find the kill, I believe, here. Yes, Ares
they
goes
do.
down. That is very big.
Rat's in mid, so not in a position to really contest
Now they
this
are
Gold
gonna,
Fury.
here we go, first objective of the game, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is going to decide how the mental of
There
Hakai
is a
go here.
Rama,
Lucky in
Rama
position.
Rama.
No. I'm having flashbacks, ladies and gentlemen.
No way, no, he's missed it! Oh my gosh. Someone get me out!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I've been
Yeah,
your
just
chair
game
one.
over.
Miranda's has been your chair two. Thank you so much.
Can we get interview started now? Is it too early? Because
it-
I think someone needs to tell Hakai to end it. Just get the F6 up.
Someone needs to tell Hakai that maybe Conquest isn't for them. You know, there are some good optional game modes out there in Smite Battleground of the Gods. We have Assault. There's nothing to really be secured on there. And VTuber's placed another
You
objective.
got to secure
just-
those med balls, don't you?
Oh, true.
True.
In Assault, there is a little bit of securing to be done, so maybe not Assault for them. And another
do have
objective here goes towards VTuber's Paradise. I mean, this is just looking like a very slippery slope here. This is what Hakai should have been doing first game. VTuber's Paradise have been put in the exact same position as Hakai. They've been given the keys, and instead of crashing it straight into a wall, they've chose to put their foot down, and they are going at 90 miles an hour here. They're breaking all the speed limits. Locky dashes in here on the Medusa. The Medusa pumping out good damage, though. Locky getting too big for his britches. Here we go. Petrify comes out. Medusa dashes in. Egg is forced out here. Now he's dancing
no.
around the minions.
Minions.
Oh, no.
Oh no, he's missed a spear. That's unfortunate.
This could go either way. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, Locky. Oh no, his ult's up.
He hits the snipes.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. And the Vulcan arrives here just in time. That is a good
Oh my
ult.
god,
Oh my
there can't be
goodness,
more
great.
circles that he can miss. He's missed the turret as well. That's an auto aimer right there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Surely the
this-
Kepri can hit something.
And he, for some reason, used
At least they hit the beads.
Yeah, well, why is my question? Oh, okay, piece. The Ratatoska was on the way. I'll let him off with that one. But good ult there from the cat. Honestly, Cheeto's been playing quite well here so far. He doesn't really have much to do with the secure. He's more of a peel here, especially on the Kefri. More of a back. Oh, Ratatoska dashes in. But he's forced out by them. Brilliant, honestly.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Definitely good play from Azza right there.
Azza, for me so far, has been one of the only redeeming qualities about Hakai. Now, Ares is looking for the kill. Azza is not going to get caught shopping. He's running to the back of that T2.
Cheeto's definitely had impact with these Kepri ults, I'd say.
Yeah,
Azza and
Cheeto's
Kepri
been
definitely
playing well here.
helping him out. But I think we did see Cthulhu. Was it Cthulhu soloing Achilles in that last Gold Fury fight?
Oh, good.
I think I saw one go down in right lane.
I don't know how that happens. I've always... Oh, here we go. Luxio Game is going to get Cheeto. Picks out a kill of his own. That is very well played there. Luxio Game caught with his pants down.
Cheeto saying if the team can't hit them, then I will.
Now, I do always
Ares
say
milking.
this. Ares is milking that totem. Not totem, sorry, obelisk. Now, the first cup is going to go towards VTuber's Paradise, it looks like. That's very well played. Now, what I have to say here is there are a few gods in Smites, especially in solo lane we're talking, that I just can't see anyone being soloed by. One of them's Cthulhu. I don't see how anyone would ever be soloed by Cthulhu. That god just kind of sits there. Another one, Cucullin, if you just don't fight him when he transforms. But,
Let me
Linus... let me introduce you to Hakai.
The Achilles build of no magical defense against a magical solo laner.
Yeah, let me introduce you to Hakai, proving the impossible is possible, just in all
They
the wrong
are
ways.
breaking down boundaries today.
Now, it is interesting to note that despite all of this, they still somehow have an XP lead. And even the goal difference, considering they've now lost 2 objectives to VTuber's Paradise, are only 2,000 gold behind on a bad day, which is, all things considered, other than the objectives, good overall macro play.
I mean,
here
if
by
they can't
Hakai.
play from behind, maybe they can play from... Oh, no, if they can't play from in front, maybe they can play from behind.
Yeah.
Maybe they're
Oh, here we
leading the VTubers into a false sense of security.
Yeah, Liner with Liner with a questionable choice, going no magical defense until the fourth item in this build against the Cthulhu, which is I've said it. I think I put it perfectly when I said questionable.
Yeah. Well, I
Oh,
mean, Liner
he's
could just
forced out
be.
again here. Honestly, I have to say, oh, Lockie gets the kill onto. Oh, okay, it's the Ratatoska gang there. Although I don't think he even did anything. I think that was just Lockie saying, "Hey."
I think it was a solo, and Rat was just there in case.
Yeah, Lockie was saying, "Hey, I have crit, you don't."
Yeah, as I said earlier, once this.
Hunbat and Kepri here. Kepri been very lethal so far for support. Forces the dash out. Could he get the abduct here? If he lands the abduct, this could be. Oh, no, never mind. Not even going to bother.
I don't know. It looks like the Humbats was spectating today.
Yeah, Humbat's decided to join us on the casting table. He's just muted for now. I think we're having some technical issues.
Yeah, I'm sure he enjoyed watching Kepri try to do something.
Yeah, he really was.
Especially with
there.
Rama beads down. I'm sure someone on the guy must have called that. And
Yeah.
if I was Big Joe, I'd be licking my lips. Like,
Oh, I'd be licking my lip. I'd be rubbing my bed. I'd be all over that.
yeah. Nothing really to stop Big Joe getting that ultimate off. So I'm not quite sure what's gone wrong there. Maybe his own PTSD of missing the ult again.
Yeah, now just looking at the damage numbers here. Wow, I mean, weakens that you on the on the jungle there. 2,002 damage here from Humbats, which, considering the amount of times that we've seen the beads forced out from VTubers, is somewhat questionable.
So far, is it what, a 50% ult success ratio from the Humbats? So I mean, damage numbers do line up.
I mean, 50% success ratio.
Pyro being pulled.
Oh,
And
no, Hakai,
no.
you don't want to be pulling these objectives right now. Not in this political climate. Now, with the Cthulhu rotates over here, Achilles is in base. Now, we do have a numbers advantage for VTuber's Paradise at the gold view. They are going to look to pull this. Now, it comes into question whether Hakai are going to be able to steal, or VTuber's Paradise have this secure that they've been doing so well on lock. Now, Cthulhu coming in, causing an absolute menace on the backline here. Liner's just beating him up. That damage finally coming into some sort of use. Gold is going down fast. Volcano coming in. Hakai have finally got an objective, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god, this could be the turnaround.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do not believe what I am seeing. Hakai have got an objective.
I don't know what even secured it, because I'm pretty sure the Vulcan ult didn't connect.
I'm just checking outside to make sure there are no pigs flying. Okay, no, the pigs aren't flying. We have actually seen Hakai get an objective here. Wow.
They are even looking at the pyro. They are feeling good today.
Oh, they're feeling so good. They're going for a second. They said, "Man, the first time was so nice. Are we seeing a turnaround here? 2 objectives in a row. Go for Hakai."
That is already more objectives than the first game. I am very proud of Hakai right now. And they didn't even have to secure that one because no one turned up to defend it.
I mean, even still, there's some scary minions walking around this map. I mean, I've seen Red Buff get more than a fair share of kills. If that was over there, I think they would have to be a little bit cautious. I mean, this could be a turning point for Hakai. I mean, they are still behind in gold, but they've gotten a couple of objectives under the belt. Hey, maybe in their minds now they're thinking, hey, we've got this. Maybe this is a turning point.
Looked at in right lane.
Oh, goodness gracious me. Az are a long way from home here in the solo lane. Ratatoska's going to go in here. Cthulhu doesn't have to descend into madness. Ratatoska misses the ult just off the mark. He lands the stun, but that's about all we have here. The blue buff invade is going to come through. Hakai have got the defense force here. They're coming into this fight. They're looking for blood.
Aussie taking a lot of poke there.
Off through some good damage over the wall. That poke is nothing to scoff at. Medusa's under half HP here, but he's going to heal it back up. That high sustained build coming through clutch. Medusa's just going to get up nearly back to full here off the back camps. Now I do have to say, one thing that I believe is inadvertently nerfed Thoth is this high sustain ADC build that's coming out at the moment, because Thoth is a very good poke god, but if it's all being negated by a lot of sustain, I think that's the one thing he struggles with in lane as well. Oh, here we go, the ults. He finds, oh, there we go, the bead's forced out. It is at the cost of his blink though. So Ares is going to struggle to get in this next fight once his ultimate is available.
Yeah, definitely. I think once those beads are about to come off cooldown, Hakai needs to back, get that tread pushing up left, and try and force a fight around Via.
Indeed, even after the Ares giving that...
I think she was going to pull it though.
Oh, here we go. VTubers are going to pull the Fire Giant. They're feeling confident around these objectives.
Or was he
Now-
already half HP though?
Yeah, this is very questionable. VTubers are falling low and they're getting lower.
I think if I'm Hakai, I'm looking to try and get in here while they're all there.
Basilius is looking for a sneaky engage here. He eats a fat meatball. Is Cthulhu just looking for some more poke? Now I think in the poke game, somehow Hakai are coming on top against a Thoth here, which is very strange. Maybe that Vulcan just able to pump out quite a lot of damage. Now, there is a Ratatoska all the way at the support buff. He's a long way away from this fight. I think if Hakai were aware of this, they would be pulling this Fire Giant right now. VTubers are being forced to back up here. They're already at the blue buff. Could Hakai look to pull this?
I think the time to pull it was there, but it's gone now for sure.
I think
Back.
yeah, I couldn't have put it better myself. The time to pull it was unfortunately 45 seconds ago.
Yeah, like once they saw Dorsey was half HP, they poked that rat out. It was time to press the go button.
Yeah, so what I wanted to see here is for them to start getting some more items online, push that trebuchet up in left, and then just stand around at this Fire Giant looking scary. And as soon as someone...
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at this Cthulhu. His HP bar is just dropping every time he walks up now. It's amazing what happens when you buy Kins and Soul Reaver.
Yeah, but... And even, we're looking at this, Humbat's going into a Heartseeker. I mean, they could, if they've listened to the commentary from last game, which I don't know how they would have noticed all of saying all of this, and they've made the changes that I believe are necessary to win.
Yeah, definitely. I think I do favour Hakai in these late game fights, especially if all the shred that they can do onto the Cthulhu now, because Cthulhu was just creating so much space last game, and I think he's going to fall a lot quicker this game.
Yeah, what I have to say is I think that this VTubers Paradise, they need a very, very good engage on these fights. They're going to have the Cthulhu go in, and I feel like once the Cthulhu's got in, they started forcing people on the back foot. That's when Ratatoska needs to strike. Basilius needs to be very careful when he chooses to engage this game, because he also has the Hunbatsult to deal with.
Yeah, I think with VTubers comp, the unfortunate thing is they don't have anyone else to really burn the beads. So it's almost as if they have to engage twice with this Ares to get value.
Redder's taking a lot of damage. He's not used to this after last game. Oh, and that is a kill found here by Basilius, not even using his ult. He just go into the air here, Lina with the zero defense challenge, going to be taking quite a lot of damage if she gets landed on. Petrify comes out here from Medusa. Lina's just taking so much damage here. Locky finds a kill there. Lina going down. They are falling low here, but Hakai just don't have the numbers to make this fight work. Medusa is trying her best to pull out the damage here, but Thoth picks up another kill. We could, ladies and gentlemen, this is looking like it could be it.
They do have Vulcan still up, so I'm not quite sure that they'll get Titan, but
I mean,
I think
Vulcan...
they definitely look at a Phoenix here. How long they got? 20 seconds on Big Joe.
Yeah, so... Vulcan. I mean, just looking at his track record so far with these abilities, I don't think he's going to pose much of a threat here. He does let the ultimate go there. He hits one of them with the Earth Shatter, I think, which is, better than we've seen so far. I think they're just going to take the Phoenix and go here, just because of how how early we are in the game here. I don't think they're going to be able to end.
Yeah, I'm not sure looking at those health bars that they would have been able to end, especially the Vulcan up. He was able to put out quite a bit of poke onto these tanks. So they do get the Phoenix, and now they can start looking at the Fire Giant again.
Yeah. I mean, the Ratatoska pick has been good. Who was it who got picked there early in the fight?
It was Joe, and I'm not quite sure how that ever happens, especially with Humbat's ult.
Yeah, I think he obviously Humbat's ult is a lot of value, and I think he just thought, well, I don't want to waste it on one man, but unfortunately, Joe.
He has what, 40% cooldown? Like, he can get that up.
Yeah, you just need to fire
very quickly.
Now, VTubers Paradise are going to pull the Fire Giant here. Now, is it Hakai even going to attempt it? Cheeto's going to look to get himself in the mix here. I mean, hey, we've seen support stealing objectives so far today, but no, VTubers Paradise with a very, very clean objective. Wow. Pulls Big Joe back in. Big Joe caught completely out of position there with his beads down.
Yeah, that is... He's giving it a go.
Hey, objective... the only Fury goes towards
number 3.
Come on. Now, Achilles... is saying, hey, you were questioning my damage? How about
first doesn't succeed, try again, apparently.
Yes, Insanity, ladies and gentlemen, is doing has been said to be doing the same thing and expecting...
I mean, that is Cthulhu passive, isn't it? The Cthulhu passive is coming to effect.
Yes, some Insanity here from...
No idea where this build's going. At this point, it could be a Hydra's.
Honestly, I'm calling a dominance if I'm looking at it from here.
Dominance. I think they just stop at the T2. To be honest.
Oh, this has been eventful so far, but I mean, is there any way for Hakai to crawl their way back into this?
Defense would be a good start. Especially against a Rama with Deathbringer. I think Spectral is an item that comes to mind against crit.
Now, what I do have to say is, I also think that they've upgraded the starter item the wrong way, the Achilles. I think what they should have done this game is went into more defense, a little bit more HP, and gone for that Hero's Axe. I feel like Sundering Axe at the moment just doesn't get the value that it needs to. Hero's Axe, on the other hand, especially into a god like Ratatoska, who's very much all in, as soon as he lands that first CC, there comes a fat shield for whoever he's diving that can really help with the time to kill.
Yeah, I think Sundering Axe, very good poke item. It works very well when you're on the upper hand and you're able to, especially on gods like Camazotz, where you got the 2 and the 1 that can poke out very well. Achilles obviously has that 1, but he's on the back foot right now. I think definitely the Hero's Axe would have provided a lot more for this team.
Now the siege of this Phoenix starts. Now here we go. The Ares ult comes in. A lot of beads and ultimates forced out there already. Sorry, if I can correct myself, the Medusa ultimate and the Vulcan beads forced out.
I think Kepri beads as well.
Oh wow, yeah, it's the Kepri beads as well. Sorry, I didn't see that just because
Joe taking a lot of damage there.
Big Joe taking big damage here. The Thoth finally finding his feet here with a poke. Up in those player damage numbers. Bats unfortunately yet to find any value on this god.
Rama having no beads here, so Big Joe could go big with an ult
there we go.
now.
Earthshatter causing the team to disperse, but not much damage coming out there. The Trebuchet is knocking on the door. Now let's see how Hakai answers. Gonna choose to engage here.
Liner could get a big execute on Dorsey.
No, Liner, you can't be doing that. If you're gonna go in there with that much damage, you're gonna have to get something for it. Cheeto's ult forced out, does get some value there. Ratatoska forced to beat, I think, there. But
okay, thank God. The Thoth was standing there as if he was a Cthulhu. I think he had to die at some point.
Big Joe finally being handed a kill on the little silver platter there. If Cheeto goes down, this damage is just too much from VTubers. Cthulhu ult does come out here. Medusa dashes in, finds some good damage there though onto Dorsey. Dorsey drops. And they do have fire minions coming for that Titan. Oh no, Ratatoska's just...
my.
Right now, he has to die here. I'd be honest... Oof, there we go. I mean, call me crazy, I expected him to maybe get away there.
I think the way this game was going, anything could happen there. Yeah. I think it's probably not a good trade for VTubers to trade the rat for... was it Vulcan? Yeah, Vulcan who died there. Especially this late in the game, the rat's probably worth more than this Vulcan. But I mean, they have a lead, so why not have fun?
This rat was 8-1. He's worth more than most of the objectives.
Well, it's easier to secure that than the objectives for Hakai at this point.
Hey, Hakai have been doing okay around the objectives this game. It's just a shame that See, they traded in, so they had some bad builds first game. The people who built bad builds last game are building good, and unfortunately, their solo laner is just... I think there may be a little bit of tilt there from the Achilles after the first game, wanting to just get in there and do what maybe they should have been doing on the Camazotz, but unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that's a human being. That isn't a bat. You're playing Achilles, not Camazotz.
Yeah, it's very troll to not be building Spectral at this point. This Rama is just doing so much damage, I think. Well, actually,
if you put a little bit of, if you scribble out that Achilles and slap a picture of Camazotz there, I don't mind the build all of a sudden.
Yeah, but this is Achilles, unfortunately.
Yeah, Lana may be mixed up in which god that she has picked this game.
Yeah, I think if she has Spectral, she's maybe able to get that execute off in the last fight.
True. Spectral would go bonkers here. I'll maybe sell the Blackthorn for it if she remembers that so you can sell items. If she remembers, this could be big. Now, Enhanced Fire Giant is going to be up here, and it looks like it's going to go the way of VTuber's Paradise here, unless Hakai are able to pull out a miracle.
Yeah, I don't think
Big Joe's going to step up here.
I think the Vulcan needs to step up and get a big Vulcan ult right now.
Here we go. Oh, here we go. That's a very big combat. So Beads comes out, finds the kill. Oh, no, he doesn't. Aegis comes out from Luxio Gaming very low. Finally, Liner does something. Liner
What
finds
is the
the
team
kill here.
doing?
What? Oh, Liner's going to fall low here. Here we go. The Earthshatter comes out. Basilius finds the kill onto Liner.
Can we check
VTubers
that
Paradise.
Azure and Mike aren't signed on to VTubers?
Oh my goodness gracious me. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's game.
Fire minions are at the Titan. Basilius is on a triple kill, and I'm on my last legs in terms of being a commentator. I think I'm going to be hanging up the microphone after this one, ladies and gents. I don't think my heart can take it.
That
and
fight,
here we go.
the backline literally watched the front line die and decided Fire Giant is where it's at.
Now, here we are. VTubers Paradise take the 2-0, and Hakai have to hang their heads in shame and really go back to the drawing board after this one. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. It is all over.
I think it was all over after Lockie started getting in the air and called himself an American sniper.
I've got to say, hats off to Lockie. He played very, very well in these games.
Okay, let's see these stats.
I'm interested to see the stats as well. I want to see this Humbat's damage.
I'm not sure Big Joe does. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we need to get the interviews going, don't we?
Oh, goodness gracious me. We need to get the interviews
We need
going.
to get Hakai in first, I think.
Yeah.
I want to hear the emotion.
Now, I would like to hear, honestly, any of the people here. I feel like there's going to be some interesting opinions. I feel like a lot of fingers are going to be pointed here. Cheeto, I think, played quite well, all things considered. The Humbat's just not pumping out the damage he needed to pump out there.
I don't think any of the Hakai people are left in VC, so there might not be anyone.
Even looking at the damage numbers, you would think that this game, went a lot better than it did for Hakai.
Yes.
But
yeah, but
nope.
Problem is they just weren't tanky enough. I think on the Achilles, you got 16k damage, but you've died 6 times for that.
Yeah, and with only 1 kill participation in the whole game, Achilles just not getting any type of value here.
No, not at all. I mean, you look on the other side, Cthulhu involved in 12 kills, and that's just because he's able to create that much space. Ares put on really good performance, I think, that game, burning beads every time he could. Like in that last fight, blinks in, gets 3, I think it was 2 beads and 1 ult. Like that much value out of the Ares ult. Like you got to congratulate Dorsey. Cheeto, I think, played the hand he was dealt. He was able to get those Kepri ults off when necessary. Unfortunately, his team just weren't able to do anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, there was just a lot of questionable behavior there. In that second game, Big Joe looking like a square peg in a round hole, just completely out of position, out of his depth in the jungle there. I don't think he's a bad jungle player. I just don't think this Humbat's got the value that he was expecting. I just don't think it was played correctly. The first game, Big Joe did have quite a good performance, but unfortunately, this one he just fell short in what seemed to be everything. Basilius just absolutely running through him, saying, "This is better. I'm just better. This is simple. Sorry, I'm just better."
Yeah, I think most of what came out of the second game stemmed from the result of the first game. I think Hakai really just needs to look at that first game. Second game, I think a lot of the mentals were in effect there.
Yeah, Hakai's going to have to go back to the drawing board. We are joined here by my personal MVP from at least the first game, Lockie, the ADC. Lockie, give us your thoughts.
MVP game 1? What? I did nothing.
In my
every
humble
objective
opinion, you were
possible.
the only reason your team maintained themselves in the game. You were the American sniper up there in the air.
Oh wow, yeah, that was got some cheesy steals. I couldn't believe it. Like,
Easy.
I
came
was
in and
looking for
baited it.
goal. Like, what was
Now,
that?
Can you tell us the damage that you did to get that goal kill? Was it north of 100?
No, I was too busy screaming my head off laughing.
Now,
how
what were the communications like there? I've got to imagine that feelings have got to be through the roof.
Yeah, when like Dorsey stole FG with the Ganesh ult, it was basically all 5 of us just screaming and laughing. It was like comms weren't really very clear at that point. It was just we're just losing our minds. We couldn't believe it.
That second game was a lot more of a dominant performance overall. We are joined by quite a lot of members of
What the fuck?
the VTubers Paradise here.
Hey, I got pulled in, and I'm sat here trying to watch Formula One on my second monitor.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Threadus. Well played. It wasn't me.
The Cthulhu carries is what we're saying.
Yeah, Cthulhu.
Yeah. First
Cthulhu
looked
went, Cthulhu
really
went
good.
big. I bet you were really happy to see on the other side that no one knew what kin size was.
Yeah, see, kind of, I was a little bit confused. Oh no, there is kin
Yeah,
Kais.
we were confused
There
as
is
well.
Kais.
Don't you worry.
There is kins.
Now-
Medusa's got kins.
What do you guys think went wrong for Hakai in the first game?
First, they needed to actually secure a single objective.
Yeah,
They-
hey,
I think
they
they got
got
a
one
pyromancer.
pyromancer.
Yeah, they lost what 2 Cold Furies and FG.
They lost a lot. I
Yeah.
think they lost mentals as well.
I think the first game was theirs to lose, and I feel like the second game, you guys were put in the same position that they were put in. You were a little bit ahead. You were starting to look around these objectives, but I feel like you guys were put in the driver's seat, and you put your foot down. You never looked back.
Yeah, I think obviously game 1, like we had a later game comp as well, so we were expected to be out pressured, and we were just playing for late anyway. So stealing all those objectives was just a bonus for us.
fair enough.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that's a very good take. Now, in that second game, I think it was a lot more of a dominant performance. Did you guys what happened in between the games? Did you guys talk about anything? Did you guys maybe talk about the team comp, or was it just as simple as you played better?
My answer to this is really easy. I sat there and watched Formula One.
I think we weren't like too afraid of anything after game 1. Like nothing like standard out that we needed to ban. So we just went back to the same things, same bands, and they picked a comp that didn't have as much pressure as they did in game 1. So we were able just to stalemate the early as well, because we know we're one of the stronger teams when it comes to team fights. So we usually tend to play around that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the team fights were very, very well played, I do have to say.
I was going to say, Fredis, did you get the solo kill on liner? Because I think I saw one go down
Yes.
during a Gulf Fury fight. Yeah.
I did indeed.
If I may ask, how does
Completely.
one die to Cthulhu in lane? What happened? Could you just run us through that? We missed it.
I think it was just progressive of poke in lane. Kind of, and I think the Pythags was kind of keeping me alive. So kind of, I just overhealed the amount of damage that she was putting out compared to myself.
Yeah.
And possibly just an unjudgment of the amount of damage that came out, and I kind of just altered and just chased her under a tower.
Mhm.
I was going to say, it's interesting you bring up the healing, Fredis, because there was a brawlers on the other side. Was the Cthulhu healing coming in quite clutch?
At times, yeah. Well, I left the fight at full HP, and well, until I got under the tower. Anyway.
Well, thank God Liner had that brawlers in.
Yeah, what happened? I have
exactly.
to ask you your opinions as a solo player. What were your opinions when you pressed tab and saw the Achilles build?
I was kind of questioning it. Like the brawlers one was interesting.
Yeah, we were questioning it as well, don't you
So
worry.
the main reason being is like I understand that obviously I've gone Pythags second, like so I kind of understand it. And there's obviously Devos on the Rama, but everyone else doesn't really apply healing or play around with healing as much. So it's an interesting one.
And then when you
Yeah.
saw the Heartseeker last item locking instead of the Spectral, were you looking at really big damage numbers and getting a big hard on?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, I think the builds overall today from Hakai have been a little bit off the mark, to say the least.
Do you think that we could send them Smite Guru and that would help?
Now, there are some good build websites and
I
also
have-
tutorials out there on YouTube. We may have to link some of them.
I did see, was it Teppelman put in a Poseidon guide the other day? I mean, leveling guide and a build guide, so maybe we could send them one of them for Achilles.
Sudden
I mean,
build on Achilles.
I'm not. I think
yeah,
if the
surely.
Achilles went into that game with the Smite auto build on, I think we probably would have seen a little bit more success.
Honestly, at that point, you just commit to jungle build.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on the game, Lockie? Is there anything that you think that you guys did particularly well?
I think it was just sort of our usual, like, play for team fights and stuff. I found like I wasn't really scared of their tanks. Like there's other teams in the league which I struggle to get through, like the tanks, like 'cause they're a bit more ahead or whatever, or they feel tankier. In team fights in game 1 and game 2, like I could just step up and shred any tank what they had. It was just,
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
quite easy to.
I suppose you weren't really shredding tanks game 2 because there wasn't many tanks to shred through.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah,
I
unfortunately,
mean,
I think damage in solo is fine, but
I
You
believe
do
some
have a
damage. Yeah.
representative from the other team.
Oh, here we are. We have we are
do have
joined by
gamers.
Cheeto.
We do have gamers, boys. GG's,
That's
by the way.
good.
First thing I'm going to
Yeah.
say.
GG's.
yeah. Just one
Um,
sec.
Cheeto, what were the mentals like game 1 after those objective steals?
Absolutely shattered.
Well, we called it
Absolutely
here first, ladies
shattered.
and gents.
Quote
Yeah.
him.
If you want to hear some quality content, head to my stream. Not
Are you
promoting,
streaming that?
but I did
Oh
stream.
my God, I need to
head,
watch
head
this.
to my
So-
stream
so
after
quick.
game 2 if you want to see some content.
If you
Because
wanna Oh,
it was
Cheeto.
something.
Cheeto, I think you need to go back and watch the Galeria Smite League stream. This has
Ah.
been an eventful one.
Oh, bro, I think.
Um,
To be fair,
when-
you guys stole Golf Fury game 2 from us, so
oh, imagine.
Alright,
neither of
we're
us
talking
can.
about the Ganesh
imagine.
steal right now.
At least we're 7 for 1, bro.
Where do you think it went wrong on the objectives? Because you had stuff that could secure it, but it just wasn't being
do you want
used.
to know what? There was no.
Was it just
In
not talking?
terms, there was nothing. No, people were talking. We
No, I
knew
have
what
to-
we. The problem is that nobody knew what we was doing on the objective, whether we were there to confirm the objective or whether we were there to fight.
Yeah,
okay.
I did mention to Miranda's in the commentary that I did say that there was probably a lack of communication going on there. I think it was just overall poor team play around the objectives. But what I do have to question Cheeto, and obviously I think you played fine at least in the second game. But what were your
Bro, I
thoughts?
could have got so many more Kepri ults off.
What were your
Tell bad.
thoughts when you pressed tab in these games and looked at the builds of your teammates?
I don't even want to comment, bro. I don't
comment,
even.
no
I
comment.
think the Vulcan build's fine.
Oh yeah, Vulcan was okay. But
More game one,
in
I
all
think we were
honesty,
looking at.
I feel like Medusa struggles with the current meta build.
Hmm.
It's
What
a
about
very
the Achilles
nice
build?
pick. Look, if Liner wants to do damage, Liner can do damage. Okay, that's all we need to say.
Yeah.
I have to say, game 1, Cheeto, you played really, really well. Like I genuinely really, really struggled with your Mojo ults. They were actually so
I do
cracked.
try.
And the Riptides, I caught me out so many times. I was playing full noob, beats and Aegis, everything at the same time. Like,
Yeah, Cheeto, I do have to say, I think that you were probably the best player on the losing team here. I think that you, obviously, the support is not one of the higher impact roles, especially in a pick like Kepri. But I think you were doing what you at least the bare minimum. But unfortunately, your team just weren't up to scratch.
Look, I was just happy to walk up to a fire giant on the right side and get a Locky Aegis because Kepri does so much damage.
yeah, this for me, I was going full noob with my relics, man. I fucking Aegis the Kepri route.
I don't think we caught that one, Connor.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't worry, I got it on stream.
It's probably a good thing. I was
Don't worry.
I said straight away in the comments, I hope they didn't see that.
Don't worry about it. I have a screenshot of me killing Luxio Gaming on Kepri, bro. That's gonna be my new profile
we got
banner.
that one.
Oh, don't worry, the commentary booth saw that one. I mean, sometimes if you want to do something right, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly.
If the teams can't
maybe
get the
kept it mid.
abilities, you got to do it yourself.
Incoming.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing statements, Cheeto? Just overall.
I don't know. I mean, good luck to these guys. Is what I'm gonna say. I
Yeah, they
think.
do have Kumin coming up, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. They played extremely well in the first half of the season, and they're not looking like they're slowing down anytime soon. Tell Basilius to stop being such a fragger. Honestly, the guy's really good at the game.
Tell him to
Questionable.
back off and then he
Questionable.
ults into the bloody fountain. Like,
yeah. In all honesty, I like how you play around. You'll put Dorsey on a godlike Ares, and you're gonna play around him using the blink and ult, getting beads off of 2 and 3 people per ult, and then like that's how you're gonna use the initiation off of that. Then Ratataska has a free dive based off of that.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal how you guys play around your comp that you've got. And it seems like you're all on very good terms with one another in doing so as well.
Yeah. Also, we kind of more or less play it as like a 4v5 because we just know Baz is going to go in and kill things afterwards. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like half the time. Like,
Right.
here I'm.
So that is going to be. I think that's going to be all for today, folks. Is there anything you would like to say, Lockie? Anything you'd like to say on behalf of your team?
GG's. Thanks for the set.
Wow, great. Nothing but respect here. Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been Delirious Smite League VTubers versus Hakai. We'll catch you for the next one.